The Fir Tree. Once upon a time, in a beautiful forest filled with tall trees, lived a little fir tree. The fir tree was very young and small. He had dark green needles that were soft to touch and smelled so fresh. All around him were bigger trees, like pine trees and spruce trees, and they all stood tall and strong. The little fir tree looked up at the big trees every day and dreamed of growing tall and strong like them. "I wish I could be big and tall too," he would say to himself. He was always in a hurry to grow up. He didn't notice the warm sun shining down on him or the cool breeze gently swaying his branches. He didn't enjoy the birds singing and the little animals playing around him. All he could think about was being tall and big. One day the birds flew over and chirped happily. "Little fir tree, enjoy the sunshine and the fresh air. It's such a beautiful day." But the fir tree only sighed, "I don't want to be small. I want to be tall like the other trees." As the seasons changed, the fir tree grew a little bit each year. In spring, he drank the rainwater and felt a bit taller. In summer, he soaked up the sunshine and stretched his branches. In autumn, his needles stayed green, while the leaves of other trees turned orange and yellow and fell to the ground. And in winter, he stood covered in soft white snow, looking like a small, fluffy snow tree. Years passed, and the fir tree finally grew taller. He was no longer the smallest tree in the forest. But he still wasn't happy. He wanted to be even taller. He wanted to see the world beyond the forest. He wanted to be important. One day, the fir tree noticed that the bigger trees were being cut down. The birds told him, "They are being taken to the town to become Christmas trees." The fir tree's heart filled with excitement. "Oh, how wonderful it must be to be a Christmas tree, all decorated and admired," he thought. "I hope they pick me next year." Winter turned to spring, spring to summer, and summer to autumn. The fir tree kept growing, always dreaming of being chosen as a Christmas tree. Finally, one cold winter day, some people came into the forest. They were looking for the perfect Christmas tree. They looked around and saw the fir tree standing tall and straight. "This is the perfect tree for our Christmas," they said. They cut down the fir tree and took him to the town. The fir tree was very excited. "Now I will be important. Now I will see the world," he thought. When they arrived in the town, the fir tree was taken into a big house. The house was warm, and there were lights everywhere. The people decorated the fir tree with shiny ornaments, sparkling lights, and a big star on top. The fir tree had never felt so beautiful and important. Everyone admired him and said how lovely he looked. On Christmas Eve, the house was filled with laughter and joy. Children danced around the fir tree, singing Christmas carols. The fir tree was very happy. "This is the best day of my life," he thought. The children played games, opened gifts, and sang songs, all around the fir tree. The fir tree loved every moment. He felt so special and loved. But after Christmas, things changed. The people took off the ornaments and the lights. They took down the star from the top. The fir tree was taken out of the house and put in a dark corner. "What is happening?" thought the fir tree. "Why are they putting me here?" As days went by, the fir tree felt lonely and forgotten. He missed the forest and the sunshine. He missed the birds and the little animals. He thought about how he had always wanted to be tall and important, but now he felt sad. He didn't understand why he was left alone in the dark. One day, the people took the fir tree out of the dark corner and carried him to a big yard. The fir tree thought, "Maybe I will be planted back in the forest." But instead, they chopped him into pieces and made a fire with his branches. The fir tree felt scared. "What is happening to me?" he thought. As the fire crackled, the fir tree thought about the days in the forest. He remembered how he never appreciated the sunshine, the rain, and the little animals. He realized that he had been so focused on growing tall and being important that he never enjoyed the simple joys of life. The warmth of the fire reminded him of the warmth of the sun, and he felt a bit of comfort. The fire burned bright, and the fir tree felt warm. He thought, "Maybe this is not so bad. At least I am giving warmth and light to the people." And with that thought, the fir tree felt a bit better. He remembered the laughter of the children, the joy of Christmas, and felt that his life had a purpose after all. The fir tree's life came to an end, but his story did not. The children who danced around him on Christmas Eve remembered the beautiful tree that had brought so much joy to their holiday. They told stories about him, keeping his memory alive. And so the fir tree's story reminds us of something very important. The moral of the story: we should enjoy the little things in life, like the sunshine, the rain, and the friends around us. Sometimes we are so busy wanting to be something else that we forget to be happy with what we have. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty around us and be thankful for every day. Life is full of simple joys, and we should cherish them. Remembering to enjoy the present can bring us happiness, just like the fir tree finally found peace and joy in his moments of warmth and light.